trust what you say and that's all okay. But everything starts to feel like a con, and I'm the pawn. Am I right or wrong?
This week we're going to be up in British Columbia, spot and stalk for giant black bears. And I have gone up for several years with Lobo Peak Guides and Outfitters, and I've had some of the most up close and personal hunts you could ever ask for. If you haven't done spot and stalk black bears, I can guarantee you there's nothing better to get your adrenaline pumping.
Select Hunter. Select UA Package. Select Point. Select Transport. Select Accuracy Package. Select Nocturnal Knocks.
Each and every year I step off that plane in Prince George, I just get flashbacks of literally hundreds of awesome memories at bear camp. Bert, his son Dusty, and Cody really strive to run the best bear camp possible. And one thing I can guarantee you is that at Lobo Peak, you're going to see some awesome black bears, huge Bruins. And on this trip, I brought some of my new Nock On crew members with me to experience spot and stalk bear hunting for their first time as well. One of the tough parts about a spot and stalk bear hunt is actually judging the bear, because it's not like hunting them over bait where you have something to judge them against for size, or somewhere where you have a lot of photos of a bear and you know what's coming to the bait. When it comes to spot and stalk, it's extremely random. You really don't know what kind of bear you're looking at, and a lot of times they're out in the wide open feeding on the green grass. So really the only way to know for sure how big they are is to get right up close and personal. Spot and stalk for bears is a lot like spot and stalk for hogs. You want to move when you know they're feeding. If their head is actively going up and down, you know they're munching away, and if their head's facing away, then that's a perfect time to move. So really pay close attention to what their head is doing.
He's a little bit too small. Had him at 25 yards, but that was fun. 25 yards, spot and stalk. Good job.
Be sure to visit knockonarchery.com to see our entire line of Nock On lifestyle clothing, as well as some awesome Nock On gear and accessories that I personally take to the field myself. Enter promo code SHOWFAN and I'll include a free signed photo. Also remember that all U.S. orders over 100 get free shipping. knockonarchery.com. Later that day, right at last light, we spotted another great bear, and I decided to climb behind the camera and let my good buddy and cameraman, Matt Stewart, go after his first bear spot and stalk.
this. I got this bow less than a week ago. Awesome Spider 30 inch. It's my first bear ever. Nice. It's probably 50 yards from where I shot him at, and Bert and Cody came in here this morning and tracked him right away, and here he is. Great bear.
Nice.
Big old white patch on the front of him. Nice coat.
Get him out of here and get him cleaned up, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Awesome. Thanks, Bert. Thanks, Cody. Here I am, British Columbia, Canada, up here with Lobo Peaks Outfitters, and I tell you what, I am so pumped. 4 days ago, I came up here for spot and stock hunt. I was a camera guy, and I got the opportunity last night to spot and stock for myself. I spent 12 years in the military, kicking indoors, jumping out of airplanes, chasing bad guys, you know, high adrenaline rush stuff. And I got out, and I just never got that rush back until I did this spot and stock. It all came full circle. I mean, all those old feelings, how pumped you are, it's awesome. If you ever want to do something to just get your adrenaline up, because you're so close, do a spot and stock hunt. It's great. I got this bow, you know, a week before I got here. It shoots awesome. I hit this bear 55 yards. I couldn't be happier. You know, everything about being up here is just great. Everybody's friends. You get along great. You get good bears like this, and I'm just happy. Knock on.
Dead center.
On this dead center segment, I want to talk about the importance of knowing axle to axle length and also brace height and how that relationship affects accuracy. Axle to axle length is the measurement between the center of the axle on one cam in a direct line to the center of the axle on the other cam. That's axle to axle length. Brace height is the distance between the pivot point of the grip in a straight line back to the center of the bowstring. That's brace height. Now, years ago, when we were really fighting to get speed bows in target archery, some of the first speed bows had very, very short brace heights, 5-inch brace heights, extremely short, and they were also some of the shorter axle to axle length bows. So years ago, there was this connection between short axle to axle bows and bows that weren't forgiving. But several years ago, the industry started making shorter axle to axle length bows for hunting purposes, but they also started increasing the brace heights so that they were still forgiving. Now, if you have a shorter draw length, a bow with a shorter brace height can still be forgiving because you're not pulling the bow back as far as a longer draw length archer. Like Little Dud and Sharon have a 26-inch draw. They shoot a 30-inch axle to axle bow with a fairly short brace height because they have very small cams. However, they're only pulling the bow back that 26 inches. So their power stroke is actually still shorter than mine. So when they pull their bow back to full draw, their string angle is still at a nice angle. It fits their face properly, and it's not putting the peep too far in front of your eye, because what takes away from accuracy is when that peep gets too far forward from your eye, or the string angle is so sharp that you're having to tip your head forward to meet the string. Now, a lot of the bows that are out offer several axle to axle lengths in the same models. For example, this Carbon Spider is available in a 30-inch model, a turbo model, which is 33 axle to axle, and it's also perfect for shorter draw length people because it's going to give you that extra speed. And then they also make a 34-inch model that's perfect for guys like myself that have that longer draw length. So make sure that you pay attention to the brace height. You want to stick with the brace height at least 6.5 inches or higher. And then also, depending on your draw length, choose an axle to axle length that's going to keep your string angle forgiving the peep fairly close to your eye and able to keep your head straight up and down so that the string touches the tip of your nose. Axle to axle length and brace height are both critical and have a great relationship together. Just make sure that you pick the right one for your draw length. If you're looking to learn more about archery, be sure to tune in to Nock On Podcast. Nock On Podcast is a weekly talk show where I get in-depth with shooting techniques, equipment setup, and also give you a no BS review on some of the latest industry gear. Nock On Podcasts are great for listening on a road trip or that dreaded ride into work. Expand your archery knowledge with the highest level of world-class information on the airwaves. Nock On Podcast. For this next stalk, I thought that I'd put my bow down and see what kind of skills I had with a gun. Obviously that wasn't my forte, so let's get back to what I am serious about, and that's bow hunting. You know, this was a great bear that we spotted out in this wide open field, and as we started stalking this bear, we actually spotted a bigger one further down, so we slipped past this bear to go to the bigger one. That stalk got blown, so then we turned around and came back to this original bear, and believe it or not, that willow twig was the only cover that I had between me and this bear. One of the challenges as a bow hunter is finding a shot opportunity on these bears where they're not moving, because since it's early spring and there's limited food, these bears are continually on the move and they're looking for either clover or dandelions to feed on, and a lot of times when they find them, they'll lay down and just concentrate on that one spot. And unfortunately, a bedded bear is not a very ethical shot for a bear hunter because their arms are normally back, fully protecting their vitals, and it's almost impossible to get an arrow through there. So you really need to wait for them to stand back up and give you a better shot angle. Yes. That was freaking sweet. Spot and stalk. Nice. That was a rip. Hoyt spider bite. He's down. That is sweet, dude. Up here at Lobo Peak. Come on in, Cody. This is Cody, Lobo Peak Guides and Outfitters. Unbelievable. It's been a couple years since I've been up here, but I just love spot and stalk bear hunts. We were going after a big sucker over here, and the thing is, with bears, anyone who's going to do spot and stalk bears for the first time, the one thing I'll tell you is don't ever take for granted that everything's in your favor, because it just takes the smallest thing and everything screws up. And we thought we had that perfect on that big bear, and just one little stick and he hauled butt, and luckily we had snuck past this one, which is a great bear, snuck past him, and we're able to come back on him, and we're just right out here in the middle of nowhere. I got one little bush. Here's my cover. There's my cover. Sherlock dialed the number and a direct spider bite. What do you think, dude?
Good job, man.
Nock on. Let's go check out my bear.
Lone Wolves Field Recon.
Hey everybody, on this week's Field Recon, I'm going to talk about the importance of tree stand, tree sticks, and safety system maintenance, because that's something that I think a lot of people neglect to do, because we have that old mentality of just buying some screw-in steps and screwing them in, or the old chain-on style tree stands, and you kind of put them in there and they're there for several years. However, you really need to not put your faith in leaving your stands and your steps or your sticks out in the elements, because rain and UV damage is definitely something that can cause injury if you have something to break, either a ratchet strap. A lot of people replace their factory straps with a ratchet strap, and I don't know about you, but you might be a 300-pound rating, but if you look and see some of the cheap metal pins that are holding these ratchet straps together, there's just no way I'm going to trust my life with that. Right here, I'm actually at a stand that I haven't hunted for several years, and I've come back to it because I've now put a food plot in front of it. And the first thing I notice is all the wear and tear that I've got on this set of sticks that I had here. So all I did was call the factory, got some replacement straps from Lone Wolf, and I'm going to go ahead and just replace these straps. Use your old straps for tying down something in your truck, or use them out in the shop, but definitely don't trust your life or your family's life with something that's been out in the elements. Do that with your stands and your sticks. The next thing is your safety system. This is actually an old one that I found laying out here. You know, a lot of people that hunt the same stands quite often will just leave their safety tethers up in the tree, especially now since you have the lifelines to get up there. But leaving your lifelines and your safety tethers out for the year are also definitely not the smartest thing to do, because UV and that rain is going to break this down, and there's no way that if you fell and all of your weight hit this rope right now after it's been out in the elements, there's just no way that it's going to save your life. So be smart about it. When you're out trimming your lanes, make sure you also check your straps. It's a cheap investment that can definitely save your life.
Stay on it.
Yes. That was freaking sweet. Welcome back, everybody. Right there is my result from my spot and stalk hunt. Awesome. That was a great shot, too. Well, right here is why I come to BC. I've been here about 14 or 15 years now. I can't really remember, but I absolutely love it. It's 75 degrees. We don't always have weather like this, but you know, turkey hunting's coming to a close back in the Midwest, and I'm up here just enjoying some of Canada's finest spot and stalk bear hunting. And I've just been super blessed over the years to have great opportunities, and this could not worked out any better. Textbook spot and stalk. Use the tree line. We had a little bit of wind, as you might hear, just enough to cover our noise. I got some sneaky feet on, either barefoot or sneaky feet. That's how I go, and I'm successful because I'm quiet that way. And man, this is the first year that I've shot Hoyt's aluminum riser bow. This is the new Spider, and I've always shot their carbon bows the last several years, but this year I tried the aluminum one, and this thing is just so quiet and so smooth. And you know, that was a little bit of a long shot, but as you can tell, it was perfectly placed, and that's really thanks to, you know, confirming yardage with your rangefinder. For all you guys out there, this is a little system I rigged up. I've got my Bino strap system, and I got my Nikon rangefinder. I just put a little loop on there so that I can have my rangefinder right here all the time, and I was just confirming yardage, and when I knew the bear was 100% at ease and I was able to make a great shot, I just took my time, pulled through it, and it was over in seconds. So
Thanks everyone for watching. Stay tuned and knock on.